Gibson County Sheriff's deputies say a sex offender with, quote, violent tendencies is back in jail after a search. GCSO says 54-year-old Richard Davis was arrested this morning in Fort Branch. A driver spotted Davis on Highway 41 and called 911. Officials say Davis removed his ankle monitor Thursday shortly after his release from prison. Davis is from Posey County and will be transferred there.